There we go. We streaming, and then we getting ready to broadcast. In a little while, we live streaming. Let's give everybody broadcast, and we on.
All right.
So let's just give everybody 3 minutes. You know what I mean? To decide what they doing. Get on. We can start the dialogue. We already have, attendees, but us, all the attendees, how y'all doing?
Oh, we do?
Okay. Just roll with it.
Oh, sorry.
We, I'm looking at it already, so just believe me. We have it. So we just gonna wait a little while for everybody to sign on, come in, and then we start the discussion. We get it rolling. But everybody that's on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, I hope everybody, staying safe.
Yeah, it's about to get serious. I mean, it's already been serious, but right now it's getting even worse. So yeah, just make sure you're taking the proper precautions. But I just realized because I'm not under Love is a Group Journey, I don't see the panelists,
No?
the attendees. Mm-mm.
Oh, shoot.
That's why I went to go look for it. I don't have it. And if am I still gonna have a? Am I still gonna be able
But
to
you're a panelist, so it says you have it. You should have it.
and comment? But you know how it comes up where it's up here and it says panelists and attendees, like the numbers, like that is not here.
Oh, I don't see mine neither.
Hmm.
So, we gotta just wait. See my man Darrell here.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
see Darrell, but hi, Darrell.
yeah, good. Okay. So now do you see it?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Do you see it on this side? You gotta hit chat.
I know where I'm at, Aziz, and no, I don't see it.
Click the chat.
The chat's been up. I clicked it. I click it as soon as I get on.
Yeah, it should say that you could see it. It says,
No,
oh, it's in the
I
top.
don't see Darrell. Oh, Darrell just said he's there, but you know how it comes up?
Yeah,
It doesn't come up for me. They will have to type first.
definitely. So right now we're giving everybody a couple of minutes. This is your this is your first time on Derail, so what we do is we all chat on the side. We're gonna ask a question, to
Well,
start the
based on the
discussion.
topic.
Based on the topic, we'll ask a question and start the discussion. We wait for the panelists to answer, and then we start the discussion. Throughout the discussion, ask questions, responses, tell stories, things that you might have went through similar, and then we go from there.
No, Darrell, there's no way for us to see you unless you are a guest on the show, so that we can be able to control the what's going on and the topic and the discussion. Sorry, we have our panelists on the side, so for right now, you'll be on the side.
But you always could, as we say all the time, you always can say you want to be on the show, a panelist. So then next time you're on, like if let's say you sign up to be on next week, you'll be a panelist on next week, and then we can see you. All right. So always, don't be afraid to inbox us topics. Don't be afraid to say, I want to be on the show. What's going on, drastic measures?
Hi, Drastic.
You see him doing this thing. We giving everybody the 5 minute runoff before we start the actual discussion. The men representing today. I like that.
I see, ladies. Where the hell are you?
Men
You
representing
got me out
today.
here by myself.
I'm liking that.
I'm like, oh, love is a group. Jenny
She's getting ready to get hyped. So silly to
I'm
me.
having a lot of slow. I just woke up. I don't think that nap was the best thing for me. I took a nap before we got on. We were up early. We went for a run this morning. And I was a little tired. So before this chat, I decided to take a nap for about an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
And I woke up real silly. But I don't feel as late. Like I was feeling a little
Go to
weird. So,
5 minute grace period. So,
oh.
you start the discussion, people come in, they gotta catch up. You know how we do. We don't care if it's 100 or two people. We gonna, have a discussion. So let's do it.
So today we're going to talk about what is being lazy in a relationship. And when we think about laziness in a relationship, we're going to really focus on word usage. So a lot of times when we are connecting with people or we're trying to get to know someone or we just have a relationship with someone, we use one word to describe someone, like you're manipulating me, right? Or you're being a bully, or you're
Well,
being
first
passive.
off, before you go into that, we want to ask, what is laziness? Like to our panelists, what it mean to our attendees? What when you think of laziness in a relationship, what do you think of? And we'll wait for y'all to respond, and then not to cut you off, but to cut you off. Then we'll see, then we'll explain. We'll go further. Yeah, you got your headphones in. Look like you DJing.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
feeling good?
Someone else's headphones was connected to my computer.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Darrell
Sorry.
said the bare minimum from your partner. Drastic said laziness is not putting forth the effort to maintain or grow
Hmm.
relationship.
And all those things are all those things are true.
Definitely,
Um, but like I was saying before we asked the question to define what laziness is, when we think of also a part of laziness is not taking the time to describe why you're saying the things that you're saying.
definitely,
Like again, like I know the one thing that I hold near and dear to my heart, or something that is often a discussion, something that's told to me is that I'm a bully, right? But my intention is not to bully. I'm not trying to bully. But if the person is feeling intimidated by me, that's the first thing that they think of. And that's the first word they want to use. And it's laziness because it's not my fault that you feel intimidated by me. I'm not purposely trying to intimidate you, but because a person's in their feelings and they're not really thinking about what they want to say. They use they take the easy route and just pick a word that is fitting for that moment.
definitely. Like when you think of bare minimum, like we was just talking about that. Like how would a person be able to understand? Let's say with Darrell, you said bare minimum. So how would a person be able to really gauge what bare minimum is?
Mm.
And drastic, you said, not putting forth effort to maintain or grow, but those is also things that's too subjective. So I think like, when we talk about laziness, we talk about using broad terms to describe something that you're trying to explain to somebody, which starts a longer dialogue and it becomes a little misconstrued when you can actually come up with actual, like when you think of it, what do you think of as a whole? Like give, some adjectives or, things of that nature, some verbs, things of that nature to like really describe what laziness would be. I mean, y'all can write on the side, but because when I think of laziness, it's not honoring exactly what you said you was going to honor in a relationship. So it's actually putting forth all the effort, as that drastic measure said in the beginning. But saying you're going to do something, agreeing to it, actually putting forth all that effort in the beginning, and then tapering off because you think over years you have the right to not still give the same level of consistency. So it's lacking consistency, I would say. Like things are gonna happen, days are gonna vary, energy is gonna vary. You know, life is gonna take its toll. But at the same time, the aim is to maintain the same energy. The aim is to honor the same agreements. The aim is to be everything that your partner signed on for.
So Darrell says inconsistency. I feel people will do or be there for someone they want to be there for. Yeah, exactly. I
I would
think,
agree.
yeah, that is true. People show up and they do things that they want to do. And it's all a choice. And the thing is that, when people are falling short and you do call them out on those things, the first thing they say is like, I want to be here. But in action, they show something different. So
Right.
I would agree with you. If people really want to put forth the effort, to your point, Aziz, if people are really making you a priority, it doesn't taper off. They will continue going strong with that priority.
Definitely, and it's very important to acknowledge that. It's very important to make sure people understand that. Like another thing I would say, being lazy is to add on to Darrell's point is when you aren't when you aren't basically waking up with the motivation to actually have discussions. So you're always sparing somebody else's feelings.
Mm.
You're always making decisions for other people. You're always taking away other people's choice. I don't care what you do, how you do it, unless you're surprising somebody like birthday party, whatever. Give them the choice. Have the discussion after you give them the choice. Like sparing their feelings in the short run, which is a sprint, versus the marathon. Like if you really with somebody for the long haul, you're gonna give them choice. You're gonna be honest with them. Tell them exactly what you feel. Tell them exactly what went on. Tell them exactly whatever it is. Don't take away their choice. Always wake up every day understanding that you have to give the person you're with choice. You can be here today. Your relationship could be here today and going tomorrow. We all know relationships are fragile. We all know there's nothing definite in relationship but the amount of effort y'all both people put in. So when that effort's not being put in, or when somebody's sparing somebody else's feelings, quote unquote, sparing their feelings by not honoring a agreement, or sparing somebody's feelings by not telling them something, then I would say that's a form of laziness, because you know that there's going to be a amount of energy it's gonna take to actually get to where we need to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, at a time in my life, like I thought that, the person that was withholding, but not necessarily withholding critical information, but just any information for that matter, they were doing it for the greater good, basically. But you realize that those people are really just sparing themselves because they don't really want to deal with it. So they're just they're not being as forthcoming as they should be because they don't really want to deal with the responsibility of being honest. Honesty is being honest is a responsibility. It's a belief. It's something that you do every day, and you have to not work at it, but you have to practice it every day. And I think a lot of like there are people out there that believe that it's something that they don't necessarily want to deal with, so they sugarcoat things. They'll leave things out because of that.
Definitely. And Jasmine is asking Darrell, do you have the option to
He just
choose
changed it.
all? Okay, he changed it. All right.
Hmm.
So now everything's good. So everybody can see everybody's, comments and things. But yeah, I agree. Drastic. What do you think, Jazz? What do you think?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Comment.
ask that.
We just want to keep you on the loop because we have a boatload of information, but we want to make sure everybody's heard and take the time to really engage y'all in this discussion, because it is dealing with. I think a lot of people believe like as the years go by, you can run out of
I'm
gas.
running it to you.
Yeah, drastic say, yeah, I'm on the same page. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you put in the effort, and I mean, from what we seeing, you know how to put in the effort, prioritize. When you say you're gonna do something, you do it. So that all shows integrity. That all shows that you have what it takes to actually manage a relationship. Now, not saying because a person is not lazy, they're the perfect match for you. We're not now selling that. But if you put in the work, then you'll do what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Have any of the panel of the attendees, have you guys ever dealt with somebody that you believed was being lazy within your relationship? Or do you currently have a relationship with someone that you believe is being lazy? And if yes, how are you dealing with that? Jasmine's writing now. Absolutely led to my divorce.
On
So
whose side?
Darrell said absolutely it led to my divorce. So I'm sure that wasn't an easy situation. How long did it take you to get to that conclusion,
Oh well, we want
Darrell?
to know what was the lazy, who was being lazy.
Oh yeah, that too. I automatically thought it was the woman.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
assumed.
because it said absolutely led to my divorce, thinking that he said, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you can
assumed that he
assume,
was the one that was in the right and she, whatever. But anyway, you're right. We
but
both
they
gave
both
up.
gave up. So y'all both gave. I mean, giving up is not lazy.
Yeah, no.
What do you define as giving up? Meaning you quit? You quit when there was still gas left in the tank, or y'all was on E and it was time. It was healthier to move on. I think that's very important. Every time, like people believe because a relationship, like it's time to move on from relationship, and necessarily failed. Yeah.
It was healthier to move on. On E, healthier to move on.
Okay.
Did
So
you guys come to? Oh, go ahead, Aziz.
yeah, I wouldn't say that's giving up. I wouldn't say that's giving up. I mean, I guess if what you're saying is two people came together and they stopped putting in the work, so that's why it became unhealthy, or y'all realized y'all weren't on the same page, y'all really didn't have the desire and the will and the principles to maintain the relationship anymore, so y'all decided it was healthier to move on. I mean, moving on is not, we're flawed human beings, which everybody says. I don't use often, but I do know when it comes to selecting a partner, we don't always get it right. So we have to, sometimes being real is being honest. Being honest
Yeah,
with yourself and moving on. That's the best thing to do for you and your partner. Sometimes love is saying we can't do this no more, but we can maintain some form of relationship or friendship, so on and so forth. So
I agree with that. Jasmine said, being lazy in a relationship is not. She's answering the question. She didn't get a chance to. So, she said being lazy in a relationship is not participating in the agreement that you made with your partner, and it is giving the bare minimum by being a participant and an initiator. Yeah, we agree with that as well.
definitely.
And then, do you want to take the next one, or you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And then Darrell said that the issues and problems started before the marriage. Thought love could get us through, but love wasn't enough. Truth be told, didn't get it right. Shouldn't have married her.
Uh, I mean, I know you. I don't know if you watch our podcast or you listen to our videos, but love is the faith. So love is
Yeah.
always enough. Love inspires you to go out and make money. Love inspires you to do what's best for your partner at all times, what's best for your relationship with. So it's not that love wasn't enough. I mean, you're talking about the emotions, caring wasn't enough, because love is the faith. So love is the commitment part, and the commitment is not just all emotion.
Well, yeah, I would say that maybe the desire to want to be with each other
Yeah,
superseded everything else. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we meet people that we at that moment think that we don't want to live a life without them, although there are signs that is pointing to there are signs there that's letting us know that we probably shouldn't move forward with the relationship, but we do anyway. So I think, yeah, I agree with Aziz that love is the faith, that is not the love that didn't propel your relationship. It was the fact that there were signs there that you both probably saw and decided to ignore them. And then you decide to get married, and I'm sure you have kids, right? So,
I don't think I don't know if
oh, he doesn't have kids? My bad. Wrong guy. But
you
but we get caught up in the feeling of things. No kids.
have. Okay.
we get we get caught up with the in the feeling of things, and it wasn't the love. It was more of the fact that you guys probably didn't belong together and knew from the very beginning, but decided to enjoy the process or try to enjoy the process or go move forward with the process anyway.
Definitely. So we would say love wasn't committed to. You know what I mean? Like y'all didn't commit to love, y'all committed to the emotions
Yes. Mm-hmm.
of being in each other's lives and enhance each other's lives emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
but without all the other commitment that comes with it, which is love. Like love is a faith, love is the principles. Because when all else fails, you're gonna honor a principle.
Mm-hmm.
And Jazz said, I agree with that because love is often used in the place of emotions. So she basically saying like what we just said, like love is not a Love is a principle. Like love
Mm-hmm.
is a agreement between two people to honor not each other but honor with the principles you have in place. So we tend to we tend to believe we meet somebody and because they look good, which is obviously a part of it, because they, we're attracted to them, which is a
They make you
part of
feel good.
make you feel good, which is a part of it. All of that we're not saying is not a part of actually building towards love. But when you sit down and y'all starting to put together the agreement, because that just starts the dating process, the attraction,
Mm-hmm.
the chemistry, things of that nature starts the dating process. But when you actually sit down before you commit, you're committing on agreements, you're committing on principles. So when you sit down and you're actually ready to commit, you're looking at things like, okay, you know, what principles we're both gonna honor.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna govern our relationships, because we shouldn't be arguing over just anything. We should argue or have debates when it's something that goes against our principles. We can't hold each other accountable if we didn't first say we was gonna honor a set of principles. Because a lot of people go on willy nilly and they never have agreements.
Yeah.
They commit and think that the commitment with their words is gonna supersede actually setting the legwork, setting down the groundwork to actually build a relationship and walk together through this life.
Well, they think because they showed up that that's good enough. You know what I mean? Like I think that just committing is not enough. Although that's the start, like that's the start, right? So that you can hold everyone accountable, but it goes way beyond just saying we're going to be together and this is what we're going to do if you don't action on those things. If you don't really if your actions don't are not doing those things, then it's an issue.
Yep.
So I think that's another thing when you think of laziness, it's, you know, you hear people say all the time, well, you know, I work hard.